Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Condor Bushcraft Golic. Now, big shout out, big love to Timbo437. I tagged him in the title. If you would, go check him out and subscribe to his channel. Timbo sends me a lot of knives to check out and a lot of badass stuff. And dude, I appreciate you very much. He also has a kick-ass channel. This is the Condor Bushcraft Parang. It's in 1075 steel. It has a polypropylene handle. Now, if I was a betting man, I'd say this was Timbo's edge on it, because this sumbitch is next level hair popping razor sharp, and we're going to prove it right here. Just kind of pay attention. Oops, there it went right through it. Like it wasn't there, son. Listen, the overall length on this particular parang is 19 inches and 11/16. The blade length, I'm getting right at, let's call it 13. The cutting edge is going to be 11 and a half. Well, let's go 11 and a quarter to be honest. The blade thickness, I believe they said it was 4.5 millimeters, but let's see if we can pull something a little better. All right, 3/16 is what I'm coming up with on the money. Now, I'm pulling these myself. The handle length is right at, and I'm talking about the actual handle scales themselves, which again are polypropylene, probably 6. Let's go 6 3/4. The inner grip, which is the most important thing to me, may not be to most people, is right at 4 3/16. The handle width is right at an inch. This thing, dude, is just wicked. Again, Timbo, thank you very much. Now, here's the deal, guys. Y'all know who Kirk is. He's as much a part of Choir Boys Outdoors as I am. Without Kirk, there is no Choir Boys Outdoors, because he is really not only been a friend and a brother in the blade, but it's because of him that really upped my knife knowledge and really upped my collection. He was kind of the start of me turning the corner on my knife journey. I'm having Kirk do some chopping here with the parang for one simple reason. Kirk does this shit every day. He has worked in land survey for the past 26 years. He is always marking out wetlands, so he's always in North Florida swamps and cutting. And you can see right here, dude just uses technique. He moves through it quickly. Also, to all my dear tree-hugging friends who I love and adore and admire, we are on Kirk's property. This is our little YouTube studio. We're clearing it out. We are going to cut down the tree to the left. It needed to come out anyway. So what better way to demonstrate a tool than this? Now, let me say this up front. The more I do this, the longer I do this, the more it becomes clear to me that I need to start mentioning the region I live in. Why? Guys, a parang is kind of a swamp tool, a foliage machete type thing, softer woods thing. Now, before anybody says anything, I know a lot of you guys up north use a lot of axes and hatchets, and you wouldn't dream of carrying a machete into the forest. Well, down here, they are our bread and butter, whether it's a machete or a parang or whatever. And a lot of the wood that we can process with, especially on Kirk's property and in the swamp, can be done with a machete or a parang. I'm not saying that's all we use, but we use them a lot. And again, Kirk uses a machete every single day of his life. So right here, we're going to knock this bad boy. And it's probably 3 or 4 inch little, I wouldn't even call it a tree. Let's just call it a big limb. That might be the better. And so Kirk's just going to kind of hack it. He's going to work both sides of it. He is ambidextrous. The man's amazing. But the truth is, if you're watching, there's no real wasted motion. There's no real herky jerk or coming out of his shoes. We're built differently. We swing differently. You see how fast he got that down. I hit I try to bring everything I got. Kirk's more technique. He absolutely adored the handle on this thing. And so do I. A lot of times, man, polypropylene just isn't the thing for me. Here, they've done it so well that it just feels good in hand. Both of us, I thought, instead of doing a bunch of quote unquote tests or demonstrations, the best way to show this thing is just to get in and do some work. Do a little clearing brush, foliage. Now, I'm going to take it another step. The tree Kurt cut down, I'm going to cut up. But the thing I like about this thing, man, we both did 4 or 5 minute, maybe 6 minute segments. I whittled them down some. But the truth is, that's a lot of swinging in a short period of time. You didn't get fatigued. It didn't fatigue me. It didn't blister the hand. It didn't do any of that. Very, very comfortable. The weight is honestly weight forward. Now, it comes with a really, honestly, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but it comes in a pretty damn good nylon sheath. It's a larger sheath. It's got a front pocket on it. It's got a strap to hold it in. But this thing just feels good in hand. Now, weight forward, it's praying, so you can chop, you can pop chop, or you can just sling it. It has a really nice pommel there at the bottom, and you can put a lanyard on. But I'll be honest with you guys, the grip on this thing is so good, and it felt so good in my hand. There's no real need for a lanyard, in my opinion. And again, we just cleared out this spot. I thought this would be the best way to show it. Now, obviously, the thing is this. You have to know what you're cutting. You have to know your environment. You have to know where you're going to be. I wouldn't walk out in the woods and hit a bunch of oak with this. I just wouldn't. That's not what it's meant to do. It is light. It's fast. It chops very well. I think it's anywhere from probably 75 to 80 bucks right in there. And honestly, if you take care of this thing, keep it sharp, it'll last you a damn lifetime. Now, you may have noticed how slim old Scabber's looking there. I'm happy to report that I'm down to 234. We're still doing our walking, still doing our yoga, still feeling good, and still moving right along. Big shout out to Timbo. Now, I know I mentioned Timbo up front, but I want to mention him again, man. Timbo, and his channel is Timbo437, is kind of one of those unsung heroes in this knife world, this YouTube, knife tubers and all that, in that he makes sure a lot of us have plenty of knives to test. He and JR and other guys that never want any credit, they send out a lot of knives. And Timbo, I just want you to know, man, from the bottom of my heart, I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Guys, there's so many guys that have such a big hand in Choir Boys Outdoors. I am so, so blessed and so thankful. And they're quality products. Condor, I get asked about them a lot. I really do. And the more you do this stuff, the more people ask you. I like Condor. I always have. But I love their machetes. They just, in my opinion, do a cut above on the machete, parang type stuff, the jungle type stuff, the swamp type stuff. They do really, really well. Guys, would I carry it? Yeah, I'll probably use this more and get more shorts and footage and things like that. And I say it like that because when somebody sends me something, I make sure to try to use it as much as I can, and it's always on camera. I could use this damn thing all day. It's absolutely got a fat ass sweet spot. I love it. Having said that, guys, we need to get to this. There was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now we're headed into the holidays. The number's going to go up. It's going to go 29 to 35, which is absurd. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. Man, you got a place here. Guys, I back the blue. There's a lot to that. I'm not arguing about it. I don't agree with everything they do. I don't believe they should be above the law, but I do support the law. Before you say back the blue, before it happens to you, it's happened to me more than it'll happen to you, I promise. And finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son. Condor, Bushcraft, Goalie. Badass.